This is the Sonneborn Formation located in Bavaria, Germany. Here limestone is mined for various industrial applications, like in lithographic printing plates, high-quality tiles and roofing. Besides the industrial value, this is a treasure trove for paleontologists. About 150 million years ago, it was a lagoon at the edge of the Tethys Sea. Most of these lagoons were too saline and devoid of oxygen to support life, but that also meant the lack of scavengers. Any life form that washed ashore and got stuck in the mud would be preserved beautifully, like a snapshot of the past. Today the sea is gone, but the stones do tell stories of a fascinating past by producing remarkable fossils from the Jurassic era, but none more fascinating than what was found in the year 1861, Archaeopteryx. The fossil showed something that shouldn't exist according to the thinking of the time, a creature that was undeniably both reptile and bird. It had the teeth of a dinosaur, the long bony tail of a lizard, the clawed fingers of a predator, but spreading from its arms and body were unmistakable feathers, the defining feature of birds. What made this the most important fossil discovery in history is also the timing. Darwin published his revolutionary theory in 1859, proposing that species evolved gradually through natural selection, with transitional forms bridging the gaps between different groups. But critics immediately pounced. Show us these transitional forms. Where are the creatures that are half one thing and half another? Just 2 years later, Archaeopteryx appeared like Darwin had ordered it from a catalogue. The timing was so perfect, so convenient that some actually accused it of being a fraud. What makes Archaeopteryx especially powerful evidence is how well we can see it. The fine limestone preserved not just bones but feathers, soft tissue that usually disappears immediately after death. We can see the asymmetric veins on its flight feathers, the same pattern modern flying birds have. We can count its teeth, we can examine its wishbone, the fused clavicles that would become crucial for bird flight. This wasn't a fuzzy impression or fragmentary remains open to interpretation. This was undeniable physical evidence. Darwin himself called Archaeopteryx by far the greatest fossil yet found in secondary rocks. Why? Because it validated the core prediction of his theory. Evolution by natural selection required that organisms changed gradually over time, with intermediate forms connecting major groups. Critics said these transitional fossils didn't exist. They were a fatal flaw in Darwin's theory. Archaeopteryx proved they were wrong. It didn't abandon its reptilian heritage to become a bird. It retained the long bony tail, the teeth, the clawed fingers of its dinosaurian ancestors while adding feathers and wings. Since that first discovery, we have found 12 more Archaeopteryx specimens, each adding new details, and the broader fossil record has exploded with feathered dinosaurs from China, showing that Archaeopteryx wasn't alone. It was part of a whole ecosystem of transitional forms. We now know that birds didn't just evolve from dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs. Specifically, they are living theropods, relatives of Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus rex. Every chicken, every sparrow, every eagle is a direct descendant of the terrible lizards that ruled the Mesozoic. But in 1861, we didn't know any of this. All we had was Darwin's theory and a fierce debate about whether it could be true. Then came Archaeopteryx, perfectly timed, perfectly preserved, perfectly transitional.